Hi guys, this is Thunder from Booredatwork.com, and today we're giving you our review and look at the Xfinity X1 platform, which is what Xfinity calls it, or the X1 cable box. In terms of the look, it looks like a standard cable box, or at least it's a little bit more streamlined. You do have your clock and date there. I'll just tilt down and show you. So it's the one with the green light at the bottom, and that's your time actually, but you really can't see it from here. So this is what your Xfinity platform looks like, and looking at a remote control, you do have a giant Xfinity button, and once you press that button, you get this whole layout, which gives you your guide, your DVR, on-demand apps, search and settings on the top, and of course your guide down below. And you do have a preview box on the right hand side. So before we go into guide and we go through all the different channels, let's check out some of the different options. Let's go to settings first. So in your settings here, you have device settings, parental controls, preferences, help, and notices and about the device. You can set your maximum resolution to 1080 by 1080p 60 frames per second, screensaver time, power saver time, things like that can be set. And once you jump in, it's quite easy to just basically cycle through what you're looking for and make those different changes, and you can tap back out quite easily. So from the settings, sorry, I made a mistake there, and we have a search option. Now this search option works with both the remote control, where you can actually go in there and use the on-screen keyboard, or actually you can use the application off your iPad or your smartphone. The application there is very basic, just allowing you to do a voice search and also use the remote control features. So basically your iPad turns into a remote control for your Xfinity X1 Carbon. Nothing special, there's really nothing more you can do with that application. You do have a DVR manager, which allows you to check your DVR, delete stuff off the DVR and things like that, but that's something that Xfinity has had for a while on there. So if we back out of this, I keep going back twice, I apologize. We do have apps. Now, there are very few applications, and you probably understand why. We do have weather, your voicemail. If you have the triple play package, you can also have your visual voicemail show up on here. You have your traffic, you have Facebook, and you have Pandora. Now, you're probably wondering why don't we have more applications? Well, most people will probably expect things like Netflix or Hulu, but honestly, that would be counterproductive to Xfinity, because they also offer movie services with your on-demand and things like that. So these are the applications that they have now. They're a little slow, but they also are, some of them are pretty cool. What I do like is sports, because once you tap on it, it brings up whatever you're watching, but it shows you what's actually is going on in the day in terms of sports. So right now it's the summertime. It's pretty much baseball, which I do not like. But if you're a baseball fan, you get to check out, what's going on, the stats, all that fun stuff. If it's football season, for instance, or basketball season, whatever games are going on will show up. So you can see the games for today, what's going on tonight, Tuesday, and it shows you at least games for basically 3 days, which is pretty cool that you do have that option here. And it's great for fantasy football buffs that you're watching, Sunday night football or Sunday football. You have all that there. You can definitely check out your fantasy stats while you're watching at home, which is pretty cool. So we'll go back into applications. Next we head back to on-demand. So the on-demand menu, this is where, of course, all the movies and TV shows are available. And it's broken down into different category sets. So you do have a category for summer of kids, family. You do have the general movie category. You've got TV shows. You've also got networks. So you can actually search through the different networks itself, and it lists them out for you. So you have broadcast networks, which is great to have it in this way. So it's easy for you to look for something specific. So if you're looking for a premium channel, you don't have to scroll through. You can easily go down premium channels. You can go down to the cable channels. You can go down to what they have for on-demand also, and so on and so forth. So it's nicely broken down for you, and it's easily accessible. And this is one of the cool things they've done about the Xfinity platform here, is that the whole TV guide process, it looks more streamlined, it's easy to navigate as a user, which makes things much more simplistic. And you have the whole list of options in the left-hand side. I know if you notice on the bottom left, you do have your temperature and your time, so at least you always have that constantly on your TV, letting you know, what's the weather outside and also what time of the day it is. So in case you're like me, who always runs late, this would help. greatly. And then of course you have your DVR functionality. You can go in, it shows you your recordings and also shows you how much DVR you've used. So we have 16% full, which means we haven't scratched the surface here. And we can, we can scroll through and we can go down and check out our different DVR settings. I apologize, I'm making some funny mistakes here, but you can go in and check out your DVR settings and see what you have for shows or what you've recorded, and definitely just take a look at them. You can delete stuff if you want to. You can go in, schedule recordings. You can select through a day, or you can go through the guide process to do that if you want to. You can also set up a priority manager, which, you know, gives you priority of what kind of shows you want. So basically move them up and down. There's Ray Donovan there, #2, which is a great show. Definitely check that out. I'm not trying to plug it because they don't pay me anything, but I figured, you know, you guys should check that show. But it's nice, and it's a very easy, simplistic layout, which they've done a very good job. Another thing to mention is that hitting the last button, instead of you going to the last channel you viewed, like most DVRs and most cable boxes out there, if I hit the last button, it gives me actually the last couple of stations I've been to. So it's almost like your Android application, or you know, your task manager you know with smartphones. So you can go through the last couple of channels, and you know, say you were just channel hopping and there were a couple of shows you were just kind of hopping back and forth, you can actually just hop through a couple of different channels and, you know, see what's going on there. It's True Blood is on right now, or just finished, thank God. You can hop through different shows that way, and it's a easier process to do. And of course, guide, which we started off with, and you can see with the guide, it's just much more streamlined. As you go through each TV show, it gives you just a small preview window. It's not much there in information. You can of course tap in, and that will take you to the show itself, or you hit the guide again. You can see how smooth the transition is there. It really actually works very well to go through from show to show. Sorry if I actually get down here again. I can go into different shows. So if I go into Call of the Wild Man, now that will give me information from the show, and I can record that. I can also check out other times this episode will show up. I can get series information, and of course the social network settings you have, you can actually share this on Facebook or Twitter. So basically you log in and ask you how you want to share. I can say Twitter, and of course I need to connect my account to do that, but in this case I didn't. But you get that whole idea. Also on the far right, it shows you seasons and tells you this is season 3 of the show, and it shows you what times other episodes will air on TV. So, you know, if you've become hooked on the show for some weird reason, you like Call of the Wild Man, you can check out more episodes. You can actually start watching that, or you can just set it up for on your DVR to record, which, you know, which is nice that you have that ability, and you can, you know, flip through with it. It's very simple. You can see what Xfinity has done here is just made this a very streamlined process. Now, in terms of the DVR functionality, we've used it for probably almost 6 months or so, and we've gone through a number of updates, so it's much better now. When it started, it was a little choppy, and of course it needs to be, updates needed to be sent in. It can be a little bit sluggish sometimes, and when it's fast, it runs pretty fast. So it's something that I'll just say that there might just be one more software update needed just to get this thing to be fully smooth. But I say we've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's a much better experience than what Xfinity offered before in the past, and it's something that I think most users will enjoy. It's just easy to jump in and out of TV shows there. As you can see, I jumped in there. You know, I can tap in info, and even though I do info, you can see I still have a nice preview window where I can watch my show and still get some more information on that. I can watch Judge Dredd. I can rent it on demand if I want to, as if I don't have the channel, of course, or I can record it if I want to. It also has Rotten Tomato tied into it, so it shows you the Rotten Tomato scores of 18%, which never is always correct since they gave Man of Steel 55. But, you know, that's just me stating that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. You know, hopefully you guys got to get a good idea of what's the Xfinity One platform. I just hit the guide button, and while I was in this window, it gave me just a preview of the guide on the right hand side. If I hit the Xfinity button, that takes it to the full guide. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. This is the Xfinity X1 platform from Comcast. If you guys have any questions or any comments, let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to all our pages on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. It's all Border Work with 2 O's. This is Thunder E saying thank you and always enjoying entertainment.